When we grow old, who should we live with? It's a question that doesn't have a universal answer, only deeply personal ones, shaped by culture, circumstance, and the very human need for love, dignity, and belonging. In the West, individualism is often celebrated. Many elderly people move into retirement homes where professional care and independence coexist. But in Eastern cultures, like here in Vietnam, family togetherness is still a cherished ideal. Growing old often means living with your children, surrounded by grandchildren, anchored in tradition and warmth. But modern life has complicated that picture. Part 1. Living with children, a dream or a challenge. Let me tell you a story. A family with 2 sons once believed that growing old would mean being cared for by their children under the same roof. So when the younger son chose a wife, the main criteria wasn't just love. It was compatibility with the parents. Could she cook? Would she be traditional, respectful? They hoped that with the right daughter-in-law, living together would be harmonious. And at first it was, but slowly, the gap between generations began to widen. The parents expected everyone at the dinner table each night. But the son and his wife had work, clients, friends. They couldn't always be home. Disappointment brewed. Accusations of disrespect followed. Then came the baby, and with it, battles between old wisdom and new science. Grandparents insisted on traditional baby care. The mother leaned on modern methods. Small disagreements became constant tension. Eventually, arguments escalated. Words were shouted. Dishes were broken. The once hopeful household became fractured. The son and his wife moved out. Hearts were hurt. Relationships were strained. This is the risk of living together across generations without understanding, flexibility, and space. Part 2. When living together works. But not every story ends in conflict. In a rural town, Mr. Kwan and his wife live surrounded by children, grandchildren, and even great-grandchildren. Their big home is divided into several parts, each family unit with its own space. But every evening, they gather to cook and eat together. They laugh, they share, they make memories. To them, living together is not a burden, it's a blessing. Mr. Kwan says the biggest reward is peace of mind. He gets to see his legacy grow, and the children feel rooted, guided, and supported. But this harmony doesn't happen by accident. It's built on mutual respect, clear boundaries, and the understanding that love does not mean control. Part 3. Choosing to live separately. Some elderly people choose a different path. Take Mr. Vin and his wife, Mrs. Nga. They have 2 sons who live in the city, but they've chosen not to live with either. In fact, when their sons got married, they gently encouraged them to move out. It's not because we don't love them, Mrs. Nga says. We just want peace, for them and for ourselves. She remembers her own struggles as a young daughter-in-law. So now, she gives her daughters-in-law the freedom she once craved. Their sons live nearby, visit often, and the family still gathers on weekends. To the parents, this arrangement offers dignity, autonomy, and quiet joy. They plan ahead too. If health declines, they're ready to hire help or move into a smaller apartment. The most important thing? Not becoming a burden. Part 4. Living alone, with strength and grace. There's also Mrs. Lee in the countryside. Her sons are wealthy, living in the city, always inviting her to stay. But she refuses. She prefers her simple village life, fresh air, familiar faces, and the freedom to live on her own terms. When I visited the city, she says, I felt invisible. My children were always busy, glued to their screens. I was just there. At home, I feel alive. She plans for the future. If she ever falls ill, a caregiver can be hired. Meanwhile, she gardens, chats with neighbors, and savors her independence. Her life might seem quiet, but it is full. Part 5. Retirement homes, not always a last resort. In some cases, the best option is a retirement center. After losing her husband, Mrs. Mann sold her house and moved into a private elderly care center. Her children were shocked. They thought it meant she was abandoning them, or worse, that she believed they were unfilial. But she explained, I don't want to be alone in your empty apartment all day. At the center, I have friends. I have care. I have peace. Holidays are spent with her family. The rest of the time, she enjoys crafts, exercise, and conversations with people her age. She feels neither lonely nor forgotten. Just free. Mr. Lon, a retired veteran, made a similar choice. After trying to live with his son, he felt trapped. "I was just a ghost in their house," he said. Now in a retirement home, he's thriving. His health has improved. His spirits are high. And his son can work in peace, knowing his father is well cared for. So, who should we live with when we're old? There is no one answer. Only the answer that suits your soul, your family, your truth. What matters most is not where we live, but how we live, with love, with dignity, with peace of mind. Whether we choose to live with our children, live nearby, or live alone with support, what we all want in the end is a life that still feels like our own, one filled with warmth, meaning, and choice. Thank you for spending this time with us. Take care of your parents, take care of yourself, and never forget, aging is not the end of life. It is the art of living, continued.